Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review, an advanced review, on Scream Queens, the pilot. So this is definitely one of the most hyped up fall shows. Scream Queens is a mix of horror and parody and Glee in some way. It's the same creators as Glee and American Horror Story, which are actually the same creators. So it's only, you know, the creators of Glee and American Horror Story are the same, and they're creating this now, which is like a mismatch of Glee and American Horror Story. Pretty sure it's an anthology series, so every season's gonna be a different story. But with this season, you got a lot of known faces. You got Keke Palmer, you got Skylar Samuels, you got Nick Jonas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Lea Michele, Ariana Grande, the list goes on and on. Emma Roberts, just so many known faces here. And I guess that's the big draw, and why this had such hype is like, all these big names are on this show. What's so special about it? Now, since it's an advanced review, of course I'm not going to spoil anything, so, but when I walked out, because this was the last show I saw for the Paley Fest Fall TV previews, I walked out and I was just really uncertain, because I'm going to say there's a lot of funny parts here, but they're funny because of how absurd they are. You know, of course there's a couple of deaths in this episode, I won't say exactly who, and a lot of them are really absurd, and some in a funny way and others in like a really creepy way. The show definitely goes out there. Like, the main character is really racist, which makes it very uncomfortable to watch. It's very gruesome, the show. Some of the deaths are really gruesome in a really weird way, because this is like a parody show, but it's some weird deaths here. So yeah, and then going back to it, some of it is funny, because it's referencing stuff of, if you've seen horror movies before, like, and this has been shown in the trailer, like the main villains, like, wears this devil mask, is very Scream, and I would say this movie is very much like Scream. Kind of like the TV show also, but it's very much like the movie franchise, where it's parodizing other horror movies, and, you know, there's just so many tropes. Like, I Know What You Did Last Summer is a big trope that you'll see, or, you know, the plot of that movie, you're going to see some tropes in this show from that movie. So a lot of the classic horror movies, but surprisingly enough, oh no, also I guess you get some Halloween in there, you get some of the slasher film references also, especially since Jamie Lee Curtis is in the show, so hopefully you'll get more Halloween references directly. But yeah, you know, it's in this weird realm of, like, making you feel very uncomfortable while you're watching the show, and it's so ridiculous that you're like, am I enjoying this? Am I not enjoying this? I really can't tell. And a big negative of the show is that the story is not that entertaining. The actual murderer and the horror, you know, portion of this show is not that good. Like, this is very much trying to be Scream, where Scream is spoofing horror movies, but also telling a horror movie story. And that's why people like Scream. But here, it's just so absurd that it's not really concentrating on the seriousness of the murder story, or really trying to fill in plots at all. It's like, oh, why am I interested in this devil guy? Or, like, there's no mystery at all. I don't really care who the killer is. And that's a problem in a show like this. You gotta care about, like, wanting to know who the killer is. And by the end of the episode, it's so all over the place, the plot, that you really don't care. I will say that a positive of this show, though, is, of course, the diverse cast. It's really interesting to see, like, Abigail Breslin and, you know, all these different people. Nick Jonas in the same show. And, you know, them parodizing this genre, so it's funny to see that. But the best character here, and the most enjoyable character, is definitely the main character, which is played by Skylar Samuels. You get to see some mystery behind her, and she's the only one that just makes sense in this show. And I think Skylar Samuels just puts a lot of heart into the character, so you actually care about that character. Everyone else is like, I could care less if they died or not, and you know there's gonna be a lot of deaths here, because they're so overacting, and not towards the actor, but just because they're supposed to overact, or because it's supposed to be such an absurd moment. It's hard to kind of connect to the characters and really care about them. It's like Scream 4 in a way, or, you know, the sequels, I mean, not Scream 4, Scary Movie 4. In the sequels of Scary Movie, where it just got so absurd, you're like, is it funny because it's bad? I can't even tell. But yeah, so we'll see where it goes. I don't know if I'm going to continue watching it. It just... Maybe I'll binge it. I don't know. This is definitely a show you should definitely watch with people. It won't be entertaining if you're watching it by yourself, but if you watch it with, like, friends or, you know, fans of the horror genre, I think you're going to like it a little bit more. But overall, I'm going to give Scream Queens 2.5 stars. It was a weird show. It was one of the weirdest shows I've seen in a really long time, or at least one of the weirdest pilots I've seen in a long time, a scripted show at least, and not a reality show, but, you know, from the network television, from network television in general. So it was pretty weird. So 2.5 stars I'll give it. This is Comic You Know. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. And don't forget to check out the Kickstarter from my comic book, Like Father Like Daughter, which will be annotated. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.